We're going live. We are live. Yeah. Hello,
Leo
world.
Daddy-O bringing the
Yes,
tunes
that's
this
right.
morning. I love it.
My name is Anthony.
I'm Gabby.
Yes, and we are voice actors. It is
Mhm.
great to see you all. Happy Friday. It's Open Forum Friday. Open Forum Friday.
Yeah.
So, if you are new here, please just take a moment, hit that like and subscribe button, share us. We are live everywhere. We're like, well, most places. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, all over.
Just a lot of places.
It's a lot of places.
Yeah.
So check us out, hit that follow, and we try to go live Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern to bring you voiceover, more voiceover.
Love it.
So, Open Forum Friday. What that be, Gabby?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Ask the questions. Tell us
Yes.
what you want to talk about. Let us know what's happening in
Bring the questions.
your voiceover career or lack thereof if you're new and you're still in the study phase. And we will try to help and steer you towards answers and impart our combined wisdom on this lovely Friday.
Our powers combined.
Oh, we should get like rings. We should have little voiceover rings.
Yes. I've always wanted,
Yeah.
I went at one time, I was looking at making rings, like something like that or whatever. Gosh, they're expensive
Oh yeah.
to make too, but they're a lot of fun. I think we should
Be
have,
like little
the
voiceover
rings,
powers
the
activate.
rings
Yeah.
of power. Yes.
That'd be
have our own
amazing.
rings of power.
Yeah.
The Vojo rings of power.
We come up with silly stuff. We really do.
We got so much time on our hands.
And most of it will never come to fruition, but we like to dream. We really do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well, you guys, like I said, it's Open Forum Friday. So if you're just joining us, pop in here, put your questions in the chat about your business, what's happening, questions about anything, whether it's acting, tech, stuff we've been talking about this week. We've been really talking about building your business and the different hats we wear and running a business, and how a lot of times we don't even we don't know what we don't know.
No.
And hopefully the whole point of what we do here with Gabby and I is to give you a little bit more information. Yeah, I wanted to say real quick too, I know I said a little bit yesterday, but again, some exciting news and some even more exciting news. So we hit 400 audiobooks published.
Unreal.
And I was just publishing another one just now, The Sleeping Beauty in the Wood. That's by Charles Perrault. There's so many different Sleeping Beauties, but they're all amazing, of course. And this one was done by Julianne Mara. She's an incredible voice actress. So just a lot of fun and publishing away. So that was really exciting. And also I sent out yesterday, Gabby, we are starting our own audio drama. How exciting is that?
It is. It's very exciting.
Yes.
It's crazy.
That's pretty wacky.
Because it's such an undertaking. But
you mean like the show? Yeah, the audio drama in general. Yeah, the audio drama. The audio drama is called After the Siren. And it's a really cool premise. There's basically this small town out in the middle of nowhere. And basically the 20,000 foot view is every time the tornado siren goes off, the town resets, but it's degrading. So every time it resets, something changed. Buildings are missing. People's memories have changed. Their histories have changed. All kinds of crazy stuff. And it's getting to the point where they can't contain whatever this mystery is in the town that they're trying to contain with these frequencies. So anyways, it's a lot of fun. It's going to be like an eight show series. So we're really thrilled about that.
I dig it.
And yeah, I'm really thrilled. So any Hoosers, that's what we're working on over there. Lots going on. Let's see. We've got Strange Stormcat. Hello. Good to see you from Washington.
Joy is with us. Joy is great. She's like Joy. I don't know what it is. I think it's her picture. It's so jovial,
like full of joy.
Right? Every time I see her,
everything matches
just
up
like,
Joy.
Oh yay, Joy's here.
Ben, I love it. Captain Planet. Yes. Let's see. Hello, Anthony Gabby from Southfield, Michigan. I lived in Kalamazoo for a while. I remember when I was little. I was there for that 6-foot snowdrift, and that was wild. I literally walked out my door and fell into down in the snow, and you couldn't see. You know, they have like pictures of that,
Oh.
but it was a lot of fun because we used to build all these tunnels, you know what I mean, and stuff under the snow and stuff. But anyways, but one thing about there is they don't, because it snows so much, they don't call off school. So you know you're
Yeah,
walking
you're
through a
going.
blizzard, right?
You're going.
That's
It's happening.
let's see. Joyce said, Anthony, I like the idea of wearing different hats, on focusing on one item at a time and working the business.
Boy, have we got hats for you.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So
Oh my
many
goodness.
hats.
We had our meeting to this Friday. We always have our kind of staff meeting for VOJ. And I was I was putting out stuff and everyone was looking at me like, well, you want us to do what? So you know, we're all wearing 50 million hats. That's our challenge. But I do think, you know, again, if we all focus on these 3 hats and giving time, right, for your entrepreneurial hat, or you can even think of your entrepreneur / solution finder or decision maker. You know, a lot of times we, I think, me personally, I don't know, Gabby, what you think about for you personally, but me personally, I find a lot of times I procrastinate because of the decision that I have to make that I'm not sure about whether I should make that decision or not.
Yes, sometimes the decision making is paralyzing, and we can, I don't know, it just causes a little bit of a shutdown, a disconnect. And yeah, we have to find ways to get ourselves out of it. So,
oh yeah,
you know, accountability is absolutely critical.
Oh, so much, so much
in all things.
So we got that. Remember, and you've got your other hat, which is your manager hat. And I think a lot of us, like, again, early on, you're going to be spending a lot of time, or you should be spending a lot of time with this hat on, because you're organizing, you know, like we talked about, files. You're organizing your process. You're making your processes of how you know, you record what is your stack or your rack, or, you know, your process of editing and mastering, you know, delivering files. How do you follow up with customers? All these are processes that, you know, you build, and hopefully you write it down so you do the same thing from beginning to end. All right.
You mean we have to be consistent?
Yes, consistency matters. We know it matters. It's important. So yeah, so you know, and then we have our technician, right? The hat that we wear, again, for the worker, you know, the one that's doing all the work. So of course, at this point, when it's only you, right, you have to wear all 3 hats. And you know, we as individuals don't wake up wearing all 3 hats. Not, I mean, there's maybe a very few, but majority of us don't wear all 1 hats.
There are some very fashionable people out there that are definitely wearing multiple hats. They just stack them up. It looks great.
That's true.
I find that sometimes when you're in a particular chapeau and you're getting stuck, right? You're stuck on a task, you're stuck on a decision maker, whatever it is. Switch. Sometimes switching, just not sitting in the problem for too long, and moving to something else frees up some brain power for that solution to manifest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, Jenna. Jenna's from Ohio. Yeah, we got a lot of people from the north and Midwest, or mid country north, whatever we want to call it. North, mid-north. What is
north, mid-north? Jesus,
I don't know what it's called.
I mean, it's the peninsula.
It's the
Great Lakes area.
Yes, the Great Lakes. So it's good to have you guys. Questions. This is your time to ask questions about anything. Pop them in there and let us know. So what are you been?
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Good.
No, I was gonna say, you know, what if I was looking at work? I was just on any recent work you've done that you wanted to share. I've done a couple things, you know, recently, and you know, it's funny because when you get going in this business after a while, right, and you've built customers, and you know, your job, part of that hat, right, with that your marketing hat, right, is you're always searching to build new relationships and connections. You're looking for always
Oh
looking
yeah.
for a door in. But it's really nice because you do have people who come back to you, and do work with you, which is why it's so important to make sure part of your process is that you follow up with people. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You say hello, you reach out, even if it's not, you're not always, remember, you're not always reaching out for someone asking them to hire you,
Oh yeah.
because they're not always going to be ready to hire you at the moment. But
No,
I can promise you, if you do it right and you keep that relationship going with people, it will come to you when you really need it the most.
for sure.
You'll be like, thank God Almighty.
For sure. There's one company I really like the way they do it. I mean, I feel like everybody in this industry, right, has a Sweetwater account.
Mm,
And
mhm,
I love the way Sweetwater has set this up. I feel like it's once a quarter, pretty consistently, the rep that's assigned to your account
mhm,
um will just call you, and they
mm.
just kind of go, "Hey, how's it going? Do you need anything? Are there any solutions you're looking for? Is there anything I can quote for you?" And it's very friendly and it's not aggressive. They don't talk about any sales or specials. It really is just is there anything I can do for you? And it's such a great way to word it, right? It's such a fantastic way to kind of put, and I have found myself many times going, well, I was curious about XYZ piece of equipment, or, could you get me some figures on whatever it is? And damned if they don't, they get me almost every time. And I'm like, I didn't even have equipment on the brain today. And yet here I am, right? Maybe buying something. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, we've got Ruben. Good to see you. Love Sweetwater. Absolutely. We've got a question. Let's see. What is the best way to organize files from recordings?
Mm,
I just got a new laptop and I don't want to slow it down with too many files.
yeah. Yeah. We touched on this. Was it yesterday or the day
It was
before?
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I think it was
yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah.
We were talking about how Anthony and I both have, redundant systems where
Our
we
redundant
use,
for our
yeah,
redundant for
the
our redundant.
redundancies for the redundancies.
Hmm.
We use either Dropbox or Google Drive or a combination thereof to keep the local hard drive relatively open, and let those services really act as our main storage facility, because then we can not only access them from anywhere, right? It doesn't matter what computer we're on.
Yes.
We can log in and get our files,
Or your phone.
or your phone. And there's there's just a peace of mind that comes from having it stored off-site that I think is pretty darn important.
Hmm.
So yeah, and laptops especially, because yeah, they do get kind of sluggy,
I
right?
was gonna say, you want
Yeah.
them to be. We want our computers to be as fast as they can for what we
Mhm.
do. So the more files you put in there, the more memory it takes up.
Yeah. And laptops, I just feel like over time it really, more so than with a desktop, you just feel where it starts to decay. So, yeah, my laptop has nothing on it. Like, its local hard drive is completely empty. Everything's Dropbox.
Mm.
So,
No,
yeah.
absolutely.
And then beyond that, it really is about sitting down with your system, your processes, and folders, divide and conquer and make pathways that are easy for you to understand to
Oh yeah.
get to different things. Try to avoid, this was something I found out just recently that some people are doing, right? Like I was talking about having an audition folder. Some people get like really crazy. Like they start making like audition subfolders by client or by agency or by source. And I'm like, that's a little much. Like
Mm, mm.
I can kind of understand it, but I feel like it's too easy now to search files,
Right.
that all of that extra naming and subfoldering, not necessary, you know? It's just an extra step that's really taking time out of your day that you could be using more wisely.
Yeah, I remember early on what I did was because I was doing a lot of voiceovers like a lot every day
Mm-hmm.
for a period of time, and I would I would have a folder. So what every day I would create a folder,
Mm-hmm.
and in that folder I would create a client folder, and then what I did for that client that day. And it would always go in that folder. And I could tell you, like just what Gabby said, 95% of the time, 99 even,
Yeah.
I never used them. So after a while I stopped. I hate to say it. I just stopped
Yeah.
and started putting it all in one folder, because now remember, you can search as long as you whatever system works for you, as long because all the systems we use, whether it's Drive, whether it's a separate hard drive, you can search on the drive for the file or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. Now, you might be like one of those things where, you have what's it called? A like, you don't know the names, but you know the date, and they're trying to find a
Yeah.
date. I mean,
Exactly. Like, I mean, there's something, like sometimes what I'll do is if I'm looking for a piece of audio, I'll go to the email, right, that was originally associated with it, and I'll just look at the date and cross-reference and go, oh, there's the audio.
mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
it's so easy now.
So it just
Um,
becomes a personal preference, I think.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever makes your life easier is
Mhm.
is a great option.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
think
No doubt.
something worth talking about, right now, because we have been seeing a lot of it. We've been hearing a lot about it. The industry's in a little bit of a slowdown,
Mhm.
and I think it's important to address that it's not only normal, right? It happens. It is cyclical like anything else. And yes, it has a lot to do with, the state of the economy and what's going on in the country and some, like uncertainty, like what the government shut down. There's a lot of factors that affect it. But sometimes, right, as business owners, we are I don't know, ashamed, right? Bashful, like to admit, oh, it's slow right now, or oh, I'm not doing so well right now. And you got to kind of get over that, because normalizing that and those ebbs and flows of business is talking about it. And right now social media has been surprising me, because I've seen a lot of voice actors like going, oh, I thought it was just me, and I just spoke to some of my friends, and it turns out it's not. It's totally normal, and I was
Yeah.
worried that my business was going down the toilet, and it's it's like, no. These are things we do need to share, and I think even for beginners,
Yes.
instead of it, right, don't let this information discourage you. See it for what it is. There are dips, and it's
Mhm.
how you handle them, right? How prepared are you
Right.
for them later on in your business that becomes really important.
I
Yeah.
love that, and I also wanna add on to that, it's also a really good idea, to keep your eyes wide open for what is working
Yeah.
and what is working. I mean, one of the coolest things I think, Gabby, from the beginning of my relationship with Gabby, I think you and I have always talked about being eyes wide open about what's
Mhm.
happening out
Mhm.
there and
Mhm.
not being afraid to follow the money or
Yeah.
follow what's happening. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And what we mean by that is like, again, ever since I started, and I know we know it's not for everybody. I know,
Mm-mm.
but ever since I started 8 years or whatever ago, audiobooks have continued to go up and up and up.
Mhm.
One thing that has gone up like a lightning rod is audio dramas,
Mhm.
shows. We were just talking about different TikTok type shows, these stories, these shows, and they're just audio, and they continue to grow, and they've grown forever. Audiobooks grown forever. Again, I'm not saying, because you might be a person who's like, hey, I just don't want to do audiobooks. I understand. But what I'm saying is that doesn't mean you can't somehow find a way to participate in certain areas of the voiceover industry that are booming at sometimes, while others are not booming exactly at this moment, because it all goes up and down. But I'm just saying, keep an eye out too for what's happening. Don't be blind. Like, well, I mean, again, it's your business. You can do whatever you want, as I always say. But I'm saying, you're again, if we're wearing our hats as business owners,
Mm-hmm.
as entrepreneurs, I always say the first job of a CEO of a company, I think, is to make sure you have a steady stream of revenue.
Yeah.
Right. And any business, cash flow is the lifeblood of your business. There
Right.
has to be cash come. I mean, or why are we, I mean, really, I mean, yes, you can do this for a hobby. That is true. There's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. But the reality is every business the reality is it has to have cash coming into the business.
Right.
Or it's a hobby.
Right.
Okay. So you have to have cash. So it's your job to make sure you get cash coming into the business at some way or some form. And, a lot of times, there are things that are going, like hotcakes, while other things are not necessarily going hotcakes at the moment.
Yeah. It's very, very true. And I think, you're right. It's trend watching. It's being flexible. It's understanding that we do have to pivot periodically. And in talking with other professionals and in engaging with other voice actors, it is engaging them both as a worker, as that doer, and as that entrepreneur, because that's how you're going to gain insights into, what else is happening that you might not be aware of. Look, my stance on it. I've never been a big audiobook person, right? You got me to do my first one. I'm proud of it. It was good. But I also, just through engaging some other coaches that deal in audiobooks, and one who Diana Conley, who was a guest speaker for us on Vojo, I had no idea that if you were in something like the ACX platform, you can choose the size of the book. I had no idea. Like, right in my mind, I was always like, oh God, a book, right? Like a tome. No, like I had no idea.
That's so funny. No, I mean, so many of the books we publish are are literally like 30 minutes. I mean, just today I was doing Sleeping Beauty in the Wood, which is a variation by Charles Perrault. Like I said, it's 24 minutes long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that narrator is going to make money from that because it's a popular title.
And that's what I'm saying. And like, so she was there, she said it in class. It was so cute the way she worded it. She was like, so, you go and you set your parameter, and she's like, now, come on, anybody can read for an hour. It's an hour long story. And I went, oh crap, she's right. And so it changed my opinion of how we see certain things, but I would never have known that. Yeah. If I hadn't been thinking with that hat.
And I think, of course, as we see now, because of the serial, what many years ago, even in cinema, it was very rare you'd have a sequel, right? It was very rare you'd have follow up. Now, now if you don't, it's a failure.
Everything is like episodic.
We want the next episode. We want the next one. It's just become what we expect. So you have to think, what does that mean? Well, that means that you're not going to have 10-hour long stories anymore. They're going to get shorter, and there's going to be more of them. Right?
And bite size, right? That's a lot less scary. Like we can do that. Yeah. And see, Ruben just said, I never knew that. I'm like, I was same. I was right there with you, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, yes. I mean, and absolutely right. There's a slew of different filters on, for example, the ACX platform that allows you to choose all sorts of things. It's under 3 hours, over 3 to 5 hours, and up. I mean, there's a variety of things. And also, you got to understand there's a lot of different genres that are extremely popular. Some genres that will always be popular. They just keep going and going.
It's true.
I mean, it just, it is what it is. Let's see. Strange Storm Cat. Oh, wait. Is it available to Launchpad people or the next level up? What sorry, I missed that.
No, Strange Storm was talking about how you and Angela both have some information online about how to videos on how to organize files and on VOJ pages. And so
that was the question.
Yeah. So they were asking if it's open to Launchpad people or
So all the courses are for people in core. Are people in core that are through it, so the next level up. Yeah. So I mean, your access to all of Angela's stuff and Launchpad. The access to all the next level stuff, that's the next level up for core. Good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
All right, guys. Well, happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday.
Weekend.
Absolutely. And if you haven't had a chance, really check out VO Journey Academy, but also Academy Voices. Because you may be in that situation where you're not ready to join VOJ, but you're interested in getting some work through Academy Voices. So check it out there because it is open to the public as well. So
Yep.
very excited. Well, you guys have a wonderful Friday. We love all of you. See you later. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.